I am Sherman D. Manning, and again, I am appalled that we will allow Donald to run for president. He is a man who raped his ex-wife and then paid her to change the story after she reported the rape. He is a man who will look you straight in the eye and tell you that his hair is authentic, that there's nothing, he even wants you to believe that that's his real color. And I'm just afraid, quite frankly, even if I were a Republican, I would be afraid to trust a nuclear arsenal to a president endorsed by our enemy, Putin. I would be afraid of that. And I will tell you about the Charles Manson, Eric Menendez, Lyle Menendez, Joe San, and Rod Alcala. I'll tell you about their endorsements perhaps on tomorrow. You will be surprised at who these individuals have come together collectively and decided to endorse. Call a friend, call your buddy, call your neighbor, email someone, text mail them, instant message them, and tell them that Sherman D. Manning from Atlanta, Georgia, although during this live broadcast I am in Los Angeles, California, I am from Atlanta, Georgia. In fact, I'm Atlanta born, Atlanta bred. When I die, be Atlanta dead. Tell them that I am on the internet right now. Let's talk about it. Sherman D. Manning. Let me get all of the commercialism out of the way by telling you that you will be doing yourself a disservice if you're concerned about social issues, if you're concerned about her, period, if you're concerned about justice. You need to call your friend, call someone, instant message them, tell them to turn on my YouTube channel, Sherman D. Manning. Eventually we'll go to video, but for right now, let's just get these words out there. Now's the time to test all of those high school teachers of mine who used to tell me, oh, you've got a great radio voice and all of that. Let's test that out now. I want you to get on the internet and take a listen to what it is that we have to say. Let's talk a moment about Ben Carson. And quite frankly, I don't know what Ben Carson has been doing, but it certainly has not been, to my belief, campaigning for the presidency. Ben Carson is the third worst thing to happen to black people in this country. The third worst person to have ever happened to us. And some people believe that he's a hustler. Some people believe that Al Sharpton is not tonight, but I love Al. I love him. I always have loved the brother. Will continue to do so. But when you decide that justice doesn't matter, or when you decide that politics don't matter, then you've relegated your power to the hands of someone else who takes it more seriously. So I would encourage and urge every person listening to me tonight to vote. Reverend Hosea Williams used to always say, vote as you please, but please vote. Vote, 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 vote. Let your voice be heard. Don't be sitting around here letting people do life to you or allowing life to happen to you. You have to get in the groove and get involved in the act of living life. And don't let life happen to you. Let life happen through you. Come on, somebody. Let's get this together. Let's get this together. As I said, all this is live, and I have to take a pill here. So there'll be a moment before I get back. Excuse me, please. Donald needs to get somewhere and sit down. We have the strangest election I've ever seen, where we have a beauty pageant owner striving to become the commander in chief. I will predict it right here on this show, beat the press, that Donald will not win the presidency. I'm not so sure he'll win the nomination, but he will not win the presidency. I've done the arrows, I've done the maps, I've done all of that. This house could use an extra bedroom, and it is doable. It is doable. This house could use an extra bedroom is a test question, a test statement to see if you're actually listening rather, to see if you're gonna say, what the heck is this man talking about? Or if you're just skipping right along without missing a beat. Because if you didn't notice that erroneous transition into buying a house and all of that, and if that didn't strike you as being surprising, then perhaps I have a space for you at a friend of mine's psychology office, and we can send you there first thing Monday morning. And so Donald raped his ex-wife, paid her to keep quiet about it. And I always hear everybody in the media drooling over Donald's kids. Oh, they're such a class. Even though he did this, that, and the other, even if I don't believe in his politics, you got to say he raised a great group of kids. And my question is always, how do you all know they're great? Because what you call greatness and what I call greatness, obviously, are two different things. And so we have to do something about that. Now, I was just distracted with a call coming in here. I was distracted, I'll admit it. Nevertheless, justice, let me start there. Justice is what love looks like in public. That's what justice is, what love looks like in public. You won't get this from the guys like Donald, because guys like Donald and Ted Cruz remind me of two boys in a trailer park somewhere in the sandbox, arguing with each other, calling names and throwing sand. These boys need to get somewhere and sit down. Let me tell you what I think about Chris Christie. I was appalled that a sitting governor would refer to the commander in chief as a petulant child, which is code for boy. We've come a long way in this country, but when I hear mess like that, it reminds me of how far we still have to go. This is what Governor Chris Christie did. Called the commander-in-chief a petulant child. This is crazy. This is crazy. Now, if I were to call Mr. Christie a fat bimbo or something like that, then he'd be offended. But he can refer to the president as a petulant child. There's something wrong with that. Call a friend. Tell them to tune in to the Sherman D. Manning Radio Hour, the Sherman D. Manning Internet Hour, and tell them to get the truth about O.J. Simpson, race, class, money, and justice. And also read my book, Creating Monsters. Read my book, KKK, which is Kids Killing Kids. Read my book, American Dream, A Search for Justice. Don't forget to read Don't Mess with Texas. Don't mess with Texas, baby. Don't mess with Texas. If anybody knows how to reach Kyle Gordy, that's KYLEGORDY, put him in contact with me. Tell him to come to this YouTube station, send me an email, or call me. We need to talk. Thank you very kindly. We'll sign off for now. That's all, folks.